What if the biggest lie you've ever been told is that happiness should be your main goal in life? We live in a culture obsessed with avoiding pain. We numb it, we distract ourselves from it, and we treat it as a sign that we've failed. But the 19th century philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche realized something radical. Running from suffering is running from the very thing that makes you powerful. He argued that your deepest wounds aren't meant to be healed, they're meant to be used. So what happens when you stop running? What new strength could you find if you dared to confront your pain instead of escaping it? This isn't about finding comfort, it's about finding a new source of strength. From the moment we're born, we're taught that suffering is an error in the system, a signal that something has gone wrong. Our entire society is built around the promise of getting rid of it. We have medications for emotional aches, endless entertainment to distract us, and a cultural story that says a good life is an easy life. We're taught to chase pleasure and run from pain. So when we experience hardship, a failure, a loss, a betrayal, our first impulse is to ask, why me? We feel like life has broken some kind of contract with us. This is the modern war on pain, and it's unwinnable. Because when you declare war on a basic part of being human, you don't get rid of suffering, you just make it worse. You add shame, guilt, and self-doubt on top of it. You start to see your struggles not just as difficult, but as proof of your own weakness. Avoidance makes you fragile. Your spirit becomes like a muscle that's never challenged. It weakens. This fear of suffering builds a prison with invisible bars. You stop taking risks. You stop reaching. You start shrinking. By running from suffering, you're actually running from the very life you could be living. This is the trap Nietzsche wanted to dismantle. Nietzsche knew suffering firsthand. Chronic illness, loneliness, and loss. But instead of giving in to despair, he used his pain as a lens to study life itself. Where others sought to escape suffering, Nietzsche affirmed it. He declared that suffering isn't just unavoidable, it's necessary for greatness. He wrote that a tree that wants to grow tall cannot avoid bad weather and storms. It's the struggle that strengthens it. For both trees and people, the same truth holds. Hardship and resistance aren't obstacles to growth. They're the ideal conditions for it. This is where he introduced one of his most misunderstood ideas, the will to power. It's not about domination over others. It's about mastery over yourself. The will to power is your inner drive to grow, to expand, to overcome resistance. It's the seed breaking through the soil, the artist facing the blank canvas, the person standing firm in heartbreak. Pain is the catalyst, the spark, the forge that activates your inner strength. When you stop asking, why me, and start asking, what can this make of me? Your pain transforms. Nietzsche didn't just diagnose our fear of pain. He gave us a method, A way to turn pain into power. Love your fate. Not just accept it, love it. Every hardship, every heartbreak, every failure. You needed them all. To wish even one moment away is to wish away who you've become. Ask yourself, what strength did this pain give me? What wisdom did it carve into me? This is Amor Fati, the radical act of saying yes to life exactly as it is. Our world rewards comfort and ease. Nietzsche called this a slave morality. To turn pain into power, you must create your own values. Do you value comfort or growth, security or freedom, avoiding failure or chasing greatness? When you shift those values, a struggle becomes a test and pain becomes power. Imagine a demon comes to you in your darkest moment and says, "This life as you live it, you must live again and again, forever." Would you curse him, or would you say, "You are a god, and never have I heard anything more divine"? This is your test. If eternity repeated today, what would you change? What would make you say yes forever? Live by that answer. When you live this way, the world doesn't change, but your relationship with it does. Fear loses its grip. Regret dissolves. Pain transforms into power. You stop being fragile. You become anti-fragile. Resistance no longer breaks you. It builds you. It becomes the hammer that shapes your character. This is Nietzsche's real secret. Not a life without pain, but a life where pain has purpose. You stop being the victim of suffering and become the creator of yourself. For too long, we've been taught that suffering is weakness. Nietzsche challenges us to see it for what it really is, a call to power. It's an invitation to grow, to overcome, to become who you are. Your pain isn't a sign of weakness. It's the raw material of your strength. The only question is, will you let it break you, or will you let it forge you? What will you choose? Share one challenge you're now ready to face with this new perspective. And if this message resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and check out the next video on your screen, where we explore how ancient philosophy meets modern psychology to build resilience and strength. Remember, the fire that burns you can also be the fire that builds you.